nearly 6:30 in the evening, and we're right at the beginning of September, and we are just about ready, I think, for another tour, a tour of the cut flower patch. It's a bit drizzly outside, and I look like I'm dressed for winter, but honestly, that's how it feels. It's been really hot and muggy and humid today, and now all of a sudden the rain's coming and it's really cooled down. Anyway, enough yap. Let's go and have a look at what we've got going on in the cut flower patch today. Hello, welcome along to the channel. My name's Suzanne and I garden and grow cut flowers in Devon in the UK, and that's more or less the equivalent gardening zone here in the UK to the American zone 8B. It's a two-handed job. So the perennial end of things is looking pretty tired, and there's lots to do, lots and lots to do. This whole bed here, I want to get some biennials in here. So this is the weedy bit here. So I think just possibly cover that with some carpet. We'll see. And then you can see it's not actually too weedy in these bits. This should be fairly easy to do. This is the Ami. This was my first succession of Dorcas, and this was my first succession of Larkspur. You can see they are completely gone. They're very easy to pull up because they're just completely dead now. And then this was my first succession of Lavatra, and you can see we've got some nice ripe seed here as well, ready for collection. And then this was my first succession of snapdragons, which is actually still looking pretty good. And then the Cerinthe, again, I've been letting go to seed, and I have collected some seed, but you see here you are. This is the seed here. That black. Oh, I've got it out. In fact, there we are. So that's a Cerinthe seed. And then this, you can see quite a lot of the Ami didn't even get cut. I've got a few bits here. Oregano. Then this is where I've planted my Echinops. So this one looks different to the one next to it. So I think I planted 6. One. Why is that one so much bigger than? I've got daddy one, mummy one, and baby one. And then I've got another 6 there. One of my favourite things, the Achillea the Pearl, that's all been cut back now. And then moving around here, the Veronica is over. The Bascom is still sending out odd flowers. The Loose Strife. And then, of course, more oregano and the obedient plant. Then more Achillea that's finished. This was all feverfew, so this will all well have gone to seed now. And then these, can you see where I cut these back? We've got some new ones coming, but they're teeny tiny, so they're not happy there. Sedum. And then, oh look, this is something you haven't seen yet. This has just started. This is my Korean feather reed grass. Lots of perennials that got dug up and just shoved in a polystyrene pot. You know how you do, you're just like, I'll deal with you later. So that's where they've ended up. And then this is, you all quite rightfully said when I planted this bed of biennials, was it last week? What are you planting? And the audio that I had filmed didn't quite work out. So here we go. So we've got some Dianthus barbatus, some Canterbury bells, some Honesty. There's Honesty. And then some Sweet Rocket. And then some more dianthus there, some more Canterbury bells there, and some foxgloves there. Oh, and a little feverfew on the end there. And my wildlife pond has got lots of little, you can't see it, but it's got lots of larvae and things in it, so that's perfect. That's doing exactly what it was supposed to do, so we're pleased about that. And then, yeah, so that's this whole section here done. That was speedy, wasn't it? And that's mainly because it's all pretty much over. This over here is, well, it was dianthus, but there's so much self-heal in here. I need to go through this. To be honest, I think what I'll do, I'll dig everything out and then I may replant any dianthus that are any good. My mint is flowering at the moment, so that's just lovely. But we've got a surprise around the corner. Get ready for the surprise. Ooh, asters. Asters, asters, asters. Let's get rid of that bit of mint that's covering you up. This was just one I had left over from last year. I can't remember what the colour is, but the rest are all this salmony, beautiful colour, beautiful. And then we've got a load of foxgloves down here. Now these ones should be the apricots, in theory. We will wait and see. The raspberries, as you can see, are now more or less taking over. And then polytunnel. So a few bits and bobs in here. Bit of unusable amaranthus, because with the amaranthus you really need to plant it close together to stop it turning into sort of these triffids. And then we've got some argyratum. The marigolds did get taller, and I've cut from them a bit, but I haven't cut from them as much as I've cut other things. Cut all these argyratum back because I've got another whole block of it outside. I've started clearing some space in here now for some other bits and pieces. These were my zinnia cuttings. They've not really amounted to very much. Oh, and this one's bent over. But yeah, they sort of worked. Maybe if they were better fed. And then the indoor dahlias are not doing wonderfully. But they're doing okay. The zinnias have been amazing. I want to sort of give you an idea of how tall they are. So let's start at the floor. They look very eaten, very, very eaten. But we go up, 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 up. Hello. Yeah, they're really tall. Oh, there's a sleepy bee. Can you see the sleepy bee? But to give you an idea of, there we are, shoulder zinnia. They're the best zinnias I've ever grown. And then we'll stick with the top end of the garden first. So, oh, my first year growing these, aren't they lovely? So these are just all in crates along here. So this is ordinarily a pathway, but can you see that pile up there? That's a load of weeding that I forgot to move. Before I did the tour, I was supposed to move all the weeds. So I've been really cutting the straw flowers heavily, and they've been brilliant again, as always. Just so reliable. You see, I've even let a few start going to seed now because I've not even kept on top of it. Statice here, self-sown Dorcas, always useful to have a bit of self-sown. I mean, look at all this self-sown feverfew, which is great because the stuff that I had originally has all gone over, so love it. Statice has been a good mix of colours. These are nearly over now. This is a xanthemum. And again, I've been cutting this for drying. And then we've got some horrible, disgusting poppies there. And then this was the winged everlasting. And this has been great for cutting. And then the roses, I'm thinking about, and you might think I'm crazy, I love Champagne Moment, okay, love it. Really useful rose, just beautiful, lovely smell, wonderful. Well, I bought Cream Abundant, and Cream Abundance is over there. We'll go and have a look. And it's just, I don't like it nowhere near as much. It's a bit weedy and pathetic. And I'm actually thinking about digging these plants out because I don't think they're a good use of space. I haven't exactly decided, but I may take those out. And then my canary grass, look, it's coming for another flush again. I can't keep up with cutting this, but I really like it. I used to grow wheat and corn, but actually, do you know what? I think the canary grass just does, in my dried flower work, it is equal to those. And it just keeps going, whereas when you cut your wheat, your oats, your barleys, they don't tend to keep going, whereas because this is a grass, the more I cut it, the more it's been. Look at the dog eating my raspberries. So anyway, definitely will be growing that next year. Not missing the wheat yet, or the corn, but maybe I will. And then the auroch that goes up and up and up and up. And this bed is all ready for clearing actually when I cut that auroch back. I started cutting the phacelia out, but I want to direct sow my annuals in here. But actually my seed still hasn't arrived, but this will be things like Nigella, Beplurum, cornflowers. So I just need to chop all that down. I'll take all this auroch for drying now so that I can chop it back. The grasses are still going really well. They're just along the edge of the roses here. And I haven't grown a lot of these before, and I love them. Definitely will grow them next year. I started chopping the Gadisha down, but worse, this is awful. I'm not very happy with him. So this looks like I've chopped it, and I have to tidy it up. But essentially my pony has stripped all the bark, and oh, he's doing it right now on camera. So he leant over the fence and he did this to my willow, which obviously is my Christmas wreath willow. So now he's left me with these horrible chewed lengths that are not long enough for making wreaths. So I'm so angry with you. Are you listening? We're angry with you. And you can see all the bits of willow out here, look, that he's pulled off and stripped us. Don't do it on camera now. Not only that, he's made the fence all wobbly. And he's made me work with no reward, because originally when I cut my willow back, I can at least make wreaths with it. Now I've got to come along and cut all of this back and have no usable lengths of willow, apart from the odd ones right out this side that he can't reach. So, oh, and this was a self-sown Levatra, which will go in, I've got an order, so I can use this in that. Okay, so that was the not very tidy area, but I spent my bank holiday weekend down here. So we have got, hopefully not very many weeds, nice neat edges, and nice healthy flowers. So this was my second succession of my third succession of snapdragons, and this was apple blossom. So they're still coming along all right. Amaranthus hot biscuits, I've harvested a whole load for drying, but I need to come out and do some more. And then this was the Amaranthus Uschberg, which I've cut most of that down. This was the second succession of Argyratum, and this is red flint, and it's brilliant. The look at the stem length on it, just really useful colours. I'm really enjoying using that. Bells of Ireland are totally over now. Just need to come along and chop those down. And to be honest, the Cosmos has seen better days. Although there are a few usable stems still, that's not a bad stem. I could cut that from my order. But the rest of it is, the foliage has gone very yucky. we had a total dahlia disaster and some huge stems all snapped off in here. So we've got, like, can you just see there's this big hole? That was just wind damage, which was a shame. This is going to get written on the screen because off the top of my head I can't remember, but I really like this one. Rosemary Dawn, there, I did remember. Rosemary Dawn, really like that. This one I need to find the label for because I don't know who this is, but I've only got this one plant and I really want to take cuttings from this one. I want to say it's like, if I can find the label, I want to say it's like Evelyn or something. I'm rooting around. I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm rooting around for a label. I haven't found one. No label. I think this is a kernel bronze that's ended up in the wrong place. And I don't know who this is down here. If it's just a gone wrong dahlia, but it's beautiful pale buttery yellow. And then yellow Jill and golden spectre, Zunder mystery fox, and wine-eyed Jill, who's gone a bit funny this year. We've got lots of yellow Jill, sort of wine Jill cross, so I might need a new plant there. And then I want to say that this is Jemanda or Newland's Josephine, but again, without the label. I can't find the label, so yeah, Newland's Josephine or Jemanda. I'll have to look up on the computer and see which one I think it is. I think there are 3 bees in this dahlia, and there's one here. It's a bit drizzly and wet, so they're all, I can't believe there's 3 bees in that one dahlia. Now, this is my second succession of larkspur. This, another bee in, this is another single dahlia, Bishop's Children, that I grew from seed. I thought I dug all the tubers out of the ground, but these 2 got left behind. This is the white dorcas, which, can you see, it's all setting seed now. And this was my second succession. Then dill, the one and only succession, because the rabbit ate the second succession. Lavatra, this is the blush one, which I thought was a dwarf variety, but you know, it's plenty long enough for cutting. So it's been really useful. And this too is setting seed now. And I think I've already mentioned, I'm not going to grow the Cyanoglossom again because I just haven't used it. It's just sat there being bee food, which is fine, but next year I'd rather use the space for something else. Along here we've got Diantha Sweet Williams, pink, then white, Achillea, the most amazing Rebecca you ever saw, well, that I've ever seen in my garden. This is the Cherry Brandy, which I am really pleased I grew, because look, it's just scrummy, isn't it? Just scrummy. I can't even reach the ones at the back though. And then obviously this is Sahara. Just look at it. It is just, I just love it. And even the yellow, I like the yellow. I'm not such a fan of the one I've got in my garden. I've got Goldilocks, I think is the one I've got in my garden. But I just think these shades are just, oh, lovely. And then this is my Agastache, and this is Nero Sunrise or Sunset or something like that. And I'm hoping the stems will be taller next year, because this is its first year from seed. So it's not particularly usable. It's okay in a jam jar, but not particularly usable in a bouquet. more achillea. I've cut back all the Shasta daisies. Didn't use any this year. Isn't it funny? I used loads last year and I didn't cut a single one this year. White foxgloves, and then crown daisies. And then look at all these caterpillars. Caterpillars, caterpillars. Oh, and a slug with a caterpillar. More caterpillars. Now, I'm not that worried because I mean, these are covered in caterpillar poop. But look at them all. I'm not that worried, and the reason I'm not worried is because I already cut my first batch of Honesty and it's already drying. So if I can't use these, it's not the end of the world. Canterbury bells, a tower of compost. And then moving on to these dahlias, more golden spectre and more Colonel Bronze with more sleeping bees. And I thought I'd got rid of all these because I thought, well, all the other ones at least had gall, and this is Ambition. So what's the betting that tuber will have gall when I dig it up? And then Karma Naomi. And then I tell you what, I think I've cut them all. Oh, no, there is one. I've cut nearly all the Joey Joshua, but there's one Joey Joshua just coming. And the reason I've cut all the Joey Joshua is it's not really flowering that prolifically yet. Oh, oh, you can't really see what it was like from that. There are lots of buds coming, but I've got a bit of a flower gap here. Whereas Karma Naomi, she's been flowering her socks off for ages. She's just keeps giving and giving and giving. Car seedlings. Here are my car seedlings growing away. Don't know if we're going to get anything from them this year. And then, oh, my Gilead, it's just beautiful in arrangements. Then obviously this is all you can't see peonies because the lady's mantle has more or less taken over this bed, which is fine because it's so useful. And then these sweet peas are going to seed deliberately now, which is fine. Self-sown feverfew. This was my third and last succession of larkspur, which is all going to seed. And then the feverfew has come along and filled in the gap nicely. Crown daisies again. I've not cut a single one of these marigolds. They just look dirty. They were called Kilimanjaro and they're supposed to be white, but they're just dirty yellow to me. And I haven't cut any of these outside crackerjack ones either. But I have been cutting my scabious, and we've got a mix here. We've got Fata Morgana, and then we have got summer fruits, and then I think I cut most of the salmon today. Oh, there's one. That's the salmon. And then this was my second succession of snapdragons. And then we've got more oregano. And then this mint, I've not been able to cut any of it because it just looks horrible. It's all the leaves, which is a shame because I really wanted like a purple flowering mint for some work I was doing today. And I had to use the apple mint, which has got white flower. But I'm hoping it's just because I'd moved it and it hasn't settled. Because if you look, the new growth looks nice and green and healthy. So hopefully next year it'll be much happier. Now, I had a disaster in this corner because I just didn't stake it and it just doesn't work for me. So I had a obedient plant, Achillea the Pearl, Achillea, and it all just flopped over this way, laid on top of each other, and I couldn't cut it because I had a tiny bit of staking, but it just, for plants that tall, it wasn't sufficient. And then these are the foxgloves I wanted to con into a wedding in 3 weeks. They're quite big plants, so they could put up flower spikes. So we'll wait and see. And they need to be white. They should be white if I'm going to use them for the wedding. This tunnel has been cleared, ready for, I don't know, some ranunculus or something. And then if you like phlox like I like phlox, ooh, we've got flocks of sheep mixed with a bit of tapestry, a bit more. Look at there, this is my favourite. These are tapestries as well with these like coloured centres. Oh, it's really raining now and I've got to go and do my horse field. Obviously you can't say no to a bit of cherry caramel. but it's all pretty much ready to be chopped down now. And obviously I should have staked that better because I staked it low down, but can you see it could have done, and next year I will, it needs a higher stake on the outside there. And then I've managed to keep this one lot of sweet peas going, but that's it for sweet peas now. And then hiding in the corner, that's my hydrangea limelight. But it's really raining now, and I've got to, look, it's getting dark as well. It feels like winter, and I need to go in the field and get my wheelbarrow and do a bit of field skipping. Thank you for coming with me for my little tour of my cut flower and patch. I don't know if it's the 1st or I think it's the 2nd of September. It's Monday. And yeah, considering it's been flowering its socks off now since the start of the season, it's not faring too badly. But the only bad thing is the wedding I've got coming up is a white wedding, and as you may have noticed, there's not really anything white here. So I think I'm going to have to be buying quite a lot of flowers in. But hey ho, we'll buy British, and then it can be as sustainable as I can make it. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to come along and follow my cut flower and gardening journey, then you can subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon if you'd like to know when the new videos come out. Although generally I try and put new videos out every week. So if you just check back regularly, you should see them. And of course, if you would like to contribute towards the making these videos, then you can buy me a coffee, and the link for buying coffees is in the description to the video. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully my seed order will arrive so that next time I see you, we can be direct sowing some seeds ready for flowering next spring.